The galaxy remembered the day humanity was exiled. It began with a silent hall inside the Galactic Council, where hundreds of alien species watched the final vote appear in bright red letters. Humanity, removed from all star systems. Every species expected humans to protest, argue, shout, or fight back, but they didn't. The human ambassadors simply stood up, calm and quiet, as if they had already known this moment would come. Their leader, Ambassador Rylan-Cross, gave a small smile, too calm for someone whose entire species was being cast out. The other species whispered nervously, "Why are they not angry? Why are they smiling?" As the humans walked out of the chamber, an admiral waiting outside leaned in and whispered something only Rylan could hear. "Phase 1 is ready." Rylan nodded once, not in fear, not in defeat, but with the confidence of someone who held a secret no one else understood. Hours later, enormous human ships gathered around Earth. Without warning, a massive energy field rose around the entire solar system, bright blue and impenetrable. Every alien sensor went blind. Their scanners showed nothing. It was as if the solar system had vanished from the galaxy. Inside the council, panic spread. What do they activate? Why block an entire star system? Are they hiding or preparing? No one knew, but across the galaxy, a strange fear began to grow. For the first time, they realized they had made a mistake. Humans were not retreating. They were not defeated. They were planning something. And whatever it was big, far larger than exile, far larger than revenge. Something was awakening behind the barrier, something the galaxy was not ready for. The galaxy waited for months after the exile, hoping for a signal, a message, even a mistake from the humans. But nothing came. The barrier around the solar system stayed silent, glowing like a giant blue wall in the dark. Most species believe humanity had isolated itself out of fear, but a few sensed something darker, something far more dangerous. Inside the energy shield, Earth was no longer the Earth the galaxy once knew. Humanity had united. No countries, no rivalries, no politics. For the first time in history, all of humanity followed a single banner, the sole ascendancy. High Commander Eric Hale stood inside the new command station orbiting Jupiter. Through the windows, he watched massive shipyards build structures the galaxy had never seen. Not ships, monuments of power. Giant frames of battleships floated like sleeping giants. Their armor glowed with blue solar energy. Their engines were shaped using gravity fields instead of metal tools. Their weapons were quiet, cold, and terrifying. Every scientist, every engineer, and every soldier worked as if time was running out, because it was. Eric looked at the hologram of the galaxy and said softly, "They cast us out. They forced us to evolve." On Mars, new training grounds produced soldiers who fought with precision and unity the galaxy had never witnessed. On the Moon, secret labs tested technologies far beyond council limits. In the Kuiper Belt, hidden stations trained an army meant to move like shadows in deep space. What the galaxy thought was weakness was actually preparation. Humans did not plan to stay hidden forever. Their silence was not fear. Their isolation was not defeat. It was evolution. And when the barrier finally opened, the galaxy would face a humanity reborn, strong, united, and unstoppable. For almost 10 years, the galaxy heard nothing from humanity. The blue barrier stood like an endless wall, hiding every secret inside. Some species believed humans were gone. Others believed they were waiting. But no one expected what came next. It started with a small patrol ship from the Vorn Alliance. Captain Risha, a calm and careful officer, was scanning the edge of the solar barrier when her instruments flickered. A shadow appeared on her screen, large, silent, and impossibly close. She leaned forward. "Is that a station?" Her crew zoomed the image. Not a station, not a ship, something far bigger. A dark, enormous figure hovered just behind the barrier, so large it blocked an entire cluster of stars. Its surface absorbed light rather than reflected it. No engines glowed. No signals flashed. It just watched. Then, for a moment, the barrier rippled, and the shape moved. Risha felt her heart freeze. "That's a ship, but built by who?" Before she finished her sentence, the shadow vanished. Not by jumping to hyperspace, not by warp. It simply disappeared, like a ghost dissolving into space. Risha immediately sent a distress signal. Unknown superstructure near Sol, possibly human origin, danger level extreme. The message spread across the galaxy in minutes. Council chambers filled with fear. Some elders argued it was an alien threat hiding inside the barrier. Others whispered the more terrifying possibility. Humans built it. In the days that followed, more sightings occurred. Huge shapes drifting through the mist of the barrier. Silent ships with no known engines. Dark war forms shaped like nothing in any archive. Humanity had not been dying. Humanity had been preparing. And now, they were letting the galaxy see the first clue of what they had become. The galaxy had barely recovered from the strange sightings when the impossible finally happened. The solar barrier flickered. At first it was only a soft pulse, like a heartbeat inside the void. But then the entire wall of light rippled, as if something massive was pushing from inside. On the Council's command station, every sensor officer froze. "Sir, the barrier is opening." "No, not opening." Another corrected. "Something is forcing it open from inside." A bright crack formed across the barrier, stretching wider and wider until the blue shield shattered silently into drifting particles of energy. Behind it, space shimmered dark, empty and calm. Then the shadows emerged. One by one, enormous shapes moved forward, blocking out the stars. At first they looked like drifting asteroids. Then their outlines sharpened, sleek, silent, and terrifyingly large. The first warship stepped into full view. Its hull glowed with deep blue light, pulsing like a living heart. Its armor was forged in sharp angles, each plate shaped by gravitational tools no alien species had mastered. The ship was quiet, but its presence screamed power. Then another appeared, and another, and another. Within minutes, hundreds of human warships formed a perfect formation stretching across thousands of kilometers. They did not wobble. They did not break ranks. They moved like a single mind. The council chamber erupted into panic. What are these ships? How did humans build them? Are they here for peace or for judgment? No one knew, and silence from a human fleet made everything worse. The flagship, an enormous dark vessel larger than any dreadnought in history, moved to the front and stopped above the council's heart world. No weapons activated. No message was sent. Humanity simply waited. And the galaxy realized something terrifying. Humans had not returned for revenge. They had returned with purpose. The galaxy held its breath as the human flagship hovered above the council's heart world. Every species waited for a warning, a threat, or a declaration of war. But the human fleet remained completely silent, their ships glowing softly with blue solar light, as if they were watching, judging. Inside the council chamber, fear had turned into confusion. Why aren't they firing? What do they want? Are they here to take revenge? Before any answer came, a small light blinked on the communication screen. A single message appeared. Human delegation requests entry. The chamber shook with shock. When the doors opened, 3 human ambassadors walked in, calm, confident, and dressed in dark silver uniforms. Their leader, Ambassador Rylan Cross, stepped forward and spoke in a steady voice. "Your exile made us stronger." The entire hall froze. Rylan continued, "When you push humanity out, we united. We built technologies beyond your limits. We prepare for something you do not see." A hologram flashed in the air, dark shapes moving at the edge of the galaxy. Giant, ancient constructs drifting toward known space. The council gasped. "What are those?" Ryland's voice remained calm. "They are the architects. Machines older than your empires. They consume stars. They erase civilizations. They are coming." A quiet panic spread across the chamber. The ambassador raised a hand. "We did not return to punish you. We returned to warn you." The council's high speaker swallowed hard. "You want alliance?" Ryland shook his head. "We offer protection. But understand this. If anyone stands in our way, we will remove that obstacle. Humanity does not repeat old mistakes." Silence. heavy, final. The galaxy now understood. Humans had not come to destroy the Council. They had come to save the galaxy, but on their terms. The warning came exactly 7 days after the human delegation's visit. At the edge of the galaxy, ancient sensors awoke, devices older than most civilizations, blaring a message of pure fear. The architects had arrived. Titanic machines slid out of the dark like living planets of metal. Their bodies glowed with red cores, each one powerful enough to melt continents. They did not send signals. They did not speak. They simply moved forward, erasing everything in their path. Alien fleets rushed to defend their borders, but their ships were torn apart in seconds. Shields collapsed instantly. Weapons bounced uselessly off the machine's armor. Despair spread across the galaxy. Then the sky changed. Dozens of blue lights appeared in perfect formation. Gravity ripples spread across space as the Solar Ascendancy fleet arrived. Silent, calm, ready. At the front stood the human flagship, its solar armor glowing brighter than ever. High Commander Eric Hale's voice echoed across every channel. This is humanity's fight. Follow us or fall behind. The first battle lasted only minutes. Human ships moved like predators, warping short distances, striking with precision, shielding weaker fleets, and tearing into machines with weapons forged from the heart of the sun. For the first time in history, the galaxy watched something impossible. Humanity fighting not as victims, but as leaders. When the final architect collapsed, its red core dimming into silence, the entire galaxy sent one message. Thank you. But humans did not celebrate. Ryland Cross addressed the Council one last time. We were exiled. We survived. We evolved. And now we lead not by force, but by example. From that day on, the galaxy entered a new era. An era where humans stood at the center, not as outcasts, but as guardians. It was called the Age of Humanity.